German car salesman who is the victim of mistaken identity, abduction, and torture has been dealt a big blow in his court case against the CIA. In 2003, Khaled El-Masri said he was on vacation in the Balkans when he was stopped at a border crossing. His passport was taken, and he says he was then drugged and flown to Afghanistan. After spending 5 months in a CIA prison, it was discovered that they had the wrong person. El-Masri was then flown to Albania, where he was dropped from a truck on a hillside. He filed a civil suit in U.S. court. As a defense, the American government invoked a secrecy privilege, which bars judges and juries from hearing the claims. El-Masri appealed, and this week the Supreme Court decided not to hear the case. Michael Ratner is the president of the Center for Constitutional Rights and has followed the case closely.
Essentially, the case for El-Masri is dead in the water in the United States, that there's really nothing that can be done any longer for El-Masri in the courts. This immunity or this state secret privilege, which they call a privilege, which they asserted on behalf of the United States, is a complete bar to any kind of case that El-Masri could bring in the United States. I mean, it's outrageous because the idea that you could cover a kidnapping, secret prison, and torture by claiming it's a state secret is obviously a complete outrage. You and I speaking here can pick up any newspaper or go on the web and find out almost everything that happened to El-Masri. And somehow the court is saying, well, even though we know all this, and even though all this has come out in Germany, that we're still going to call it a state secret and pretend it didn't happen. And so the fact they didn't take the case is certainly not a good sign in the next case that comes along. But it's conceivable, of course, that someone like Mahar Arar, another case where there's even more public knowledge of the facts and where it actually has been an official inquiry, is a better case. The state secret assertion in that case, it seems to me, is going to be a lot more problematic than in El-Masri's case. The idea that after a public inquiry in Canada they could still claim state secret, which of course they are, but that a court could uphold it would be outrageous to me, and just obviously a way to cover over incredibly unconstitutional, illegal, and serious violation of human rights. Right now we have a situation, at least in the United States, where the three main branches, the president obviously, Congress obviously, and now the courts, as we talk about El-Masri, have really combined to hide and really to allow a torture and rendition program to continue. That's why you have indictments in Italy for the kidnapping and torture of Abu Omar, an Egyptian cleric. 25 CIA agents have been indicted. You have an investigation in Spain on the CIA rendition flights. You have the German case with El-Masri. So you have a lot going on in Europe, but very little going on here.